Mike and Aaron order a pizza. Once again, this is Detroit style, a big rectangle, and it's cut into 12 rectangular slices. Mike eats 2/3 of the pizza, leaving 1/3 for Aaron. Aaron then eats half of what is left for him. If we say that Mike ate 2/3 of the pizza, we can draw that by looking at the rows of slices. There's a row on top of 4, a second row in the middle of 4, and then a third row along the bottom of 4. If he ate 2/3 of the pizza, we can draw that by saying that he ate the top row and the middle row, 2 out of the 3 rows. That leaves 4 slices for Aaron along the bottom. And it says that he ate half of what was left. Well, half of those 4 slices means he ate 2 of the slices, leaving 2 slices behind. This is an example of multiplying fractions. Let's take a look at a little more textbook version of it. What is 1/3 multiplied by 1/2? Well, one way that we can look at this is by first chopping the pizza up into this many slices, the denominator of the first fraction. That's 3, so let's chop it into 3 slices. The size doesn't quite matter here. If they're inexact, that's okay. All right, we now have the pizza divided up into 3 slices. Next, we want to color in one of those slices, since that's the numerator of the first fraction. Let's color in the top with red. Our second move is to then cut the pizza into the number of slices indicated by the denominator of the second fraction, except this time we're going to cut it up and down. The first time we cut it left to right. The second time, we're going to cut it up and down. So let's chop this in half vertically. Then, for our final step, we are going to color in this many of those new vertical slices green. Let's choose this guy. And now we've done our multiplication. All we need to do is look at how many slices have both colors, how many slices have both red and green in them. That's our numerator. So we have this one slice here that has both red and green. So 1 will be our numerator. And then our denominator is how many slices the pizza is now cut into. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's our denominator. So 1/3 times 1/2 is 1/6. There's an easier way to do this, however, without drawing, and it's probably the simplest arithmetic you can do with fractions. All you have to do is take your 2 fractions, multiply across the top. In this case, that would be 1 times 1, and then multiply across the bottom. That's 3 times 2. This also gives you 1/6. Multiplying fractions is very simple. Multiply your numerators together, multiply your denominators together, you've got your answer. And then, if it's possible, simplify. Our next example is 2/5 times 3/4. We're going to go ahead and do the pizza cutting operation, even though we also already know the arithmetic shortcut. So our first step is to cut the pizza horizontally into this many slices. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Again, exact doesn't matter here. Then we're going to shade in this many of those slices. Let's choose these 2 up top. Next step, we cut the pizza vertically into this many slices. I'm going to do that like this, cut it in half, and then cut each of the halves roughly in half. All right, now we have 4 vertical slices, and then we color in this number of those vertical slices green. Let's do these 3. To get our answer, we need to determine first how many slices have both red and green in them. I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These 6 slices have both red and green, so that is our numerator. Then we need to count how many total slices the pizza is now cut into. I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. That's 6 over 20. However, if you think back to our arithmetic shortcut, all we really needed to do was multiply the denominators together and then multiply the numerators together. Reverse that. Multiply the numerators and then the denominators. 2 times 3, our 2 numerators, give us 6. 5 times 4, our 2 denominators, give us 20. So that shortcut also gives us 6/20. But wait, 6 and 20 are both even. That means they can both be divided by 2, which allows us to simplify. 6 divided by 2 is 3. 20 divided by 2 is 10. So our final simplified answer is 3/10. How about 1/6 of 2/3? We don't really need to worry about slicing up the pizza anymore. We can just do the arithmetic. Multiply our numerators, 1 times 2. Multiply our denominators, 6 times 3. 1 times 2 is 2. 6 times 3 is 18. Both 2 and 18 are even, so we can divide them both by 2 to simplify, and we get 1/9. Dividing fractions is just a modified version of multiplying fractions. We're going to do 3 steps before we do any arithmetic. We're going to keep the first fraction the same. We're going to change the division sign into a multiplication sign. And then we're going to flip the second fraction over so that the denominator becomes the numerator and the numerator becomes the denominator. So we keep the first fraction the same, so it stays as 1/3. We change the division symbol to a multiplication symbol, and then we flip this fraction over. 1/2 becomes 2/1. Then we'd simply multiply the way we've been doing before. 1 times 2 across the top gives you 2. 3 times 1 across the bottom gives you 3. Our answer for dividing fractions is 2/3. 1/3 divided by 1/2 is 2/3. Remember, keep the first fraction, change the division symbol, flip the second fraction. A second example here, 2/5 divided by 3/4. Let's remember our 3-step process. Keep the first fraction, change the division symbol, flip the second fraction. 2/5 is kept. It's the same. Change the division symbol into a multiplication symbol, then flip the second fraction. 3/4 becomes 4/3. Then we do our multiplication just like we already have been. We multiply the top, 2 times 4 gives us 8. We multiply the bottom, 5 by 3 gives us 15. How about 1/6 divided by 2/3? We keep the first fraction the same, 1/6. We change the division symbol to a multiplication symbol, and then we flip the second fraction. 2/3 becomes 3/2. Then we multiply like normal. Multiply the numerators, 1 times 3 gives us 3. Multiply the denominators, 6 times 2 gives us 12. But wait a minute. Both 3 and 12 can be divided by 3, so this can be simplified. 3 divided by 3 is 1. 12 divided by 3 is 4. If you have any questions or need any help, feel free to email me or jump into my office hours between 1:45 and 3. Otherwise, I will see you on Thursday.